Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
And in sickness and in health.
And in clickbait and not clickbait, as long as we both shall
I don't
stream.
know why I just got so my brain just short-circuited there for a second.
Happens
I don't
to
know
me
what happened.
on the regular, so that's okay.
Anyway, we are here. Yay!
Yay!
Hello, everybody. Shout out to all of the peeps. Parker Jennings, Mr. Camera Junkie, Paul Duncan, Jay Poetics, Hey, Homesick Mac, Bailey Cat, Michael H, Spiral Lab, Curiosity Network Podcast, Drew, Bailey, Leo, Rambling Vlogger, hello.
Well,
Action Crypto's in the house, Peter, Robotrix, Ken, hi from Norway, Rio Pel Room, JFK, Robert,
all the main characters are here.
Monica Escobedo. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Very exciting to see you all. So, I mentioned just during the pre-show, there is, I don't want to say the word clickbait because it's not.
I think it's really effective, honestly. I'm not saying it in a negative way at all.
Sorry, there's so much gap between us.
It's just such a big
Get
chair.
Closer to me, babe.
This
there
chair
we go.
doesn't move. It just
I know.
falls back into the little wheel spot.
Okay, so today's stream is called Tom Hit the Big Milestone. And I know that the milestone that everyone is thinking is the 100K subscribers. That has not happened yet officially.
No.
It just hasn't happened yet.
But 900 hours on Animal Crossing New Horizons.
That's
actually true.
You really
but,
wanted to say that.
But no, that's not what we were talking about.
No, it's that Tom, yesterday it was Tom's 5-year anniversary of his very first YouTube upload.
Yeah.
And to me, the thing that I wanted to dedicate a whole episode to is being consistent and active at YouTube for 5 years straight is something that you are in total control of.
Yeah.
And is something that is super hard to do because it's so much easier to give up. And YouTube is hard for everybody. So I just think that it really is a testament that, you didn't have the slumps that I do where I just kind of stop uploading for a little bit. You have been consistently uploading since
but that
your
doesn't
very
mean it's
first
been
video.
just easy and
No,
breezy.
but I mean that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
is you've been.
I can proudly say
Yeah.
not a week has gone by in the past 5 years where I didn't upload a video.
That's insane.
Yeah. And sometimes more because there was the 30-day challenge and sometimes there's 2 videos a week, but at least 1 video per week every week for 5 years.
That's my Tom.
Is pretty cool.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today, what we're going to talk about is the journey. What we want to do, what we always want to do on the Couples Table is share our experience as content creators.
When it comes to the journey, it's very important to don't stop believing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so hello. Hey, Mike. A versus
something. We hit 10,000 feet or something.
Tom hit a big milestone.
But
5
V
years
is a pretty big
deal,
one
yeah.
too.
5 years is a big deal. Hi, Daddy Toxic 69. Ola from Finland. Consistency is worth celebrating. There you go.
Yeah, because it's that's what I've noticed when we were talking about this earlier. I was like, yeah, there's been so many times over the years where I'll connect with different YouTube creators and we're kind of I feel like we're buddies in a way, even if we've never met. And then we're hey, channel's going, and they just kind of disappear. And so many times I feel what's wrong? Something went wrong. And I realize nothing's actually wrong. They just kind of stopped and moved on to something else. And that's the thing that I've seen the most is when it comes to growth or whatever it might be, is just people stop. And I know that makes sense.
I'm so guilty.
But I mean, people stop, forever. But that's the thing. It almost, in a weird way, is a lonely feeling because you're it feels like playing Animal Crossing New Horizons in 2020. Everyone was doing it. 2022, I'm hey, still checking in on my island over here, and everyone's still doing it, huh? Okay.
Hey, Ono Coffee, Sean Park, Paul Greenwood in the house, Derek. Everyone's congratulating
you.
you on 5 years.
I really like Paul's channel icon, the shapes. Paul Greenwood. Well, I like Paul Duncan too. But I'm not dunking on Duncan here, but Paul Greenwood, like the shapes and stuff, it just like really is popping out right now.
Jay Poetic says, I've been uploading every week for 3 months straight. I can't imagine 5 years. That's insane. And I watched the whole thing.
I didn't realize it though. Like that was the thing. It wasn't until looking back, I was like, well, I've had my official upload schedule for
Ron
3
is
years.
here and said that he tuned in just in time for a terrible journey joke.
Well, it wasn't the wrong time to turn in.
Hey, Pierre. Hey, Aubrey. Richard. So what's the air like from up on the mountain?
Up here on the very...
Hi, Monzon Media. Peter TC, Tom prepared with some stats. 5 years, 132 likes, 2 RCPs, 1,200 miles of XLR cables. That's like really funny. 1,200 miles. Like, how many miles do you have?
I just use the same crappy ones, except finally, Alan from SoundSpeed sent me one of his custom-made XLR cables. Like, he hand makes XLR cables as a professional sound operator, and it's so good. I didn't know it even has my name on it. Like, he put a whole thing on it. So it has no issues. It's like impervious to interference. And he even told me, which like sounds like a big flex, and it kind of is, but it's also true. He was like, don't use this on any mic reviews because it's so good.
Wow, really?
It's going to make the mic sound better. Like if a mic is prone to interference or signal noise or whatever, and use this cable, people will get the mic, use a regular cable, and they'll be like, why doesn't it sound like what I heard on your thing? So he's like, don't use it on a mic where you need to review it. It's like, wow, that's a huge flex, but it's really cool. So when you're using it in regular production stuff, that doesn't matter. It's like amazing. Otherwise, all my cables are just really cheap Amazon ones that tend to break.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Today is basically Q&A, but I have questions of my own. So that's where we're going to start. If you have any questions, and you know, we're going to focus it on Tom's journey as a YouTube creator.
Yay.
Let me see what I think would be the most helpful. Can you paint the picture of a time when you were really frustrated, wanted to give up, started questioning, like, I tried everything and I don't know why this isn't working. Like, do you remember a moment in the past 5 years where like you were this close to giving up? What was that moment like? You know, describe it to us.
Not giving up, but definitely times where things aren't working, but what is not working wasn't like, like growth isn't working. Like that can be frustrating, but so much of it is just beyond my control. Like you can do all the things, make good videos, make good thumbnails. And like literally some of my most popular videos are the ones that took the least amount of time to make or have the crappiest thumbnails. Like there's so many exceptions to every rule. There's best practices, but that's not going to guarantee anything. But there were times, the time that really stands out is spring, early summer of 2018.
Okay.
So it was a year into it. I had been doing everything consistently for a year and I started getting really sick. Like repeatedly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I was getting...
he was getting like physically sick.
Like often, which was very strange. And so immediately, because I'm working and work is stressful, I was like,
still working.
It's my job. Work is so stressful. And it was, and it absolutely was. And YouTube is this fun thing that should not be stressful because I love it and it's fun. And it kind of took me months before I realized, a big source of my stress is actually YouTube and the pressure I'm putting on myself to, at the time I was trying to upload a video every Tuesday and the pressure to make a video every Tuesday and, you know, on top of work. So that meant like basically all of my weekends, all of my free time were meant making videos and there was just no downtime at all.
And it's like, I remember during this time that you didn't think it was YouTube for the longest time.
I did not want to believe that it was.
Yeah, because it's the fun thing. Like this is the fun thing after work. You do YouTube by choice. Like no one is forcing you to do it. Yeah. But you were getting. I'm just gonna say the word once.
Sorry. Yeah, it's fine.
He was getting migraines, and we've talked about it on the couples table. But when Tom gets a migraine, he's out for 2 days. Like can't look at light, throwing up, KO'd. Like bed, just can't like. Sensory overload,
non-functional
completely
human.
For at least a day and a half. And it was I remember when we first started dating, I was so excited because he had never had a migraine for like when I came into his life,
Yeah,
all
you're
the
like, oh, I
stress went
cured
away.
you.
And then it was like around this time you would just
It was
it
it
like
happened on a
every
live
week.
stream.
Yeah,
I
you
was
got one
scared even
on a
thinking about
live
it,
stream.
but
Yeah, sorry.
on a live stream, getting scared time out. So
and they're all stress related.
Stress is a huge trigger for me. So, and there's positive stress, negative stress. We've talked about this on here before. So, so what I realized was, okay, it is YouTube. Like this thing of me uploading every Tuesday is arbitrary. There's no reason for me to do that. You know, the channel was growing, but it's not like it was growing like exponentially. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop that. I'm just going to make videos when I want to make videos, upload them when I want to upload them, and it'll be done.
I remember this revelation, by the way.
I have a video about it. I made a whole video about it.
This was a big deal because Tom is a deadline kind of guy, and for you to just be like, I'll just do it whenever I want.
YouTube. I'm gonna make YouTube work for me. It's not my full-time job, was what I was saying at the time, and and that relieved a ton of pressure. And then, which is funny, I still never missed a week. It just wasn't on Tuesdays. But even though I wasn't consciously pushing myself to go like, you can't go 7 days without a video, it just throughout the course of a week, I would get an idea, I'd make a video, and then it was just kind of whenever the video was done, I would upload it. Like as soon as it was done exporting, it would go out. So that maybe that's Sunday night, Tuesday morning, Friday night, maybe it's Sunday and Monday, like whenever it was. There's no consistency to that. And in terms of channel performance, I didn't notice it actually had any effect at all. But it made me feel a lot better.
Bad or good, no difference.
No difference. So
but life-changing for you.
Life-changing for me. So I did that for another year. And so, well, so to answer your question, that was the time.
So it wasn't that like, oh, I've tried everything. It was the stress of trying to meet your own deadline.
Something is wrong. Something's not working. It was the stress of like this thing of balancing YouTube with a full-time job isn't sustainable for me.
Yeah. And that fixed it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to I couldn't give up my job, and I didn't want to give up YouTube.
So how did you, at what point or what made you decide to go from I'll just upload whenever I'm done to every Thursday at 5:15 a.m.?
That was a year later, June of 2019. I remember it specifically.
Tom is real weird with dates.
Yeah. Well, because the reason was because that's when the school year ended, and so it was summer break, and I had extra time, and I was like, you know what, I could make a couple of extra videos because I have more time. And the thing that was still stressing me out, I kind of was aware that YouTube could be stressful, and I was picking up on like, I'm starting to feel that pressure now that it's been another year and I haven't missed a week. Now I do kind of have a pressure to make a video, but I don't want to have to feel that. So that's when I thought, you know what, if I had a couple of videos and scheduled one. I think I did this by accident. I think I just made an extra video once and was like, oh, instead of putting 2 videos out on the same day, I'll just schedule it for a few days later. And I was like, hey, that was cool.
It's a weird feeling to like make a video, upload it, and then not have it go out. It's so weird.
It's really weird. It's very dissatisfying at first.
Yeah, because it's like you finished working on this thing and
share
no one sees
everybody.
it.
Yeah. That took a long time to get over. So it was that where I realized like I should do this more. And then I took some extra time, made some extra videos to stay like 3 or 4 ahead. And then I've been doing that ever since. We talked about that like 100 times on here, but that just really helps. So when things go crazy or I am sick or we need to go out of town or I just want a break, you can take one and the wheels don't come off at all. And that has been life-changing and sustainable because it's been 3 years. So.
Action Cryptos, are we getting real today? I don't know. Daddy Toxic, I dig how your clothing and her mic match.
It's all on purpose.
Okay, can we talk about how my hair is not purple enough right now? This is like...
She thinks her hair is black, but I still think
it's black. Dude, I can show you pictures.
Sorry, what is... I know it's been... Look at this color right here, though. Look, my shirt disappears when I go behind you because like whoop, hair or shirt. I don't know.
I'm going to show you pictures.
No, I know you have like...
Yeah.
Bright purple hair, but
also Bailey had his first cup of coffee, technically a mocha. Mocha is my favorite cup of coffee.
It is really good. I'm not a coffee guy, but every time I have 6 years,
every time we go to like a coffee place, I always get a mocha.
That's good. I like coffee flavored stuff.
Let's see. Action Crypto says I haven't uploaded in a month because of stress, migraine, concussion.
Oof.
I'm just getting done with feeling better to get at it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope you keep feeling better. That really sucks.
I had to remind myself I run a channel. It doesn't run me.
Well, you always say like make the platform work for you.
Yeah, you don't work for
the
YouTube, damn
right.
it. Because if you work for YouTube, you're basically like you are working for YouTube. They're benefiting by
Right.
putting ads on your content, and you are not getting any employee benefits or HR protection
Yeah.
or whatever. So you got to draw the boundaries.
If you defend me, that is HR protection.
Oh my gosh. I don't think anyone else got that.
Because Heather Ramirez.
But now that YouTube is your life, does that put more pressure on you?
So that's a great question, actually. No, but it did. Last year when
The transition year was
I remember
tricky.
last summer specifically, I was like, this is my full-time thing. I know I said when I went full-time, I didn't want to like, no, I can make 5 videos a week and go crazy because that's not what I want to do. I was like, there's no reason not to do like 2, maybe even 3 videos a week. And I tried doing it all last summer and it made no difference to the channel overall, but it exhausted me. And I was like, oh, I'm not saying that doesn't work for everyone. For me, it was like, it made sense. Like I uploaded twice as many videos, so I got twice as many views. Okay. Yeah, but like it didn't unlock some magical thing where, because you're uploading this often, now we're going to promote your channel in this way. It didn't do anything like that. And then I was starting to feel like the more I tried, the more things weren't working. And so I realized that even though it was my full-time thing and the context shifted for me, nothing has shifted for the people who watch the videos. They didn't even know that. So just keep doing the thing that made them want to be there in the first place. And that was important.
It's amazing like how much it's mindset. Like
it's like
the whole
almost all of it.
Yeah.
It's just mindset.
Like nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes.
No,
I'm sure, we can say, okay, you probably got, some microphone or a camera that made a big difference, but really like
yeah, you can level up your skills, of course.
Yeah.
That's what half my channel is based on, but like
So this comment made me laugh. Homesick Mac. Can Heather make a video on flipping the pen? Can you do that with a drumstick? We talked about this.
I can twirl the drumstick, but I can't do the pen thing you do.
Well, now you got to show that off.
You got to show. I don't have a drumstick here, but you got a pen right there.
No, I've been doing it this whole time.
Oh. I don't think I can do it with a pen. Yeah,
Action Crypto says, in what ways has Heather made content creation more difficult for you, Tom?
Oh. Where to? That's a very interesting question, and I'm going to try to think honestly. Legitimately, I don't think there is one. I do think that I had to learn.
Yeah, there is a tricky part though.
The part early on was getting in my own head, because not only, was she seeing me she's like seeing the process, which can be uncomfortable when someone else watches what you do. Like you don't like it when I hear you recording videos even now.
You've gotten
a lot more comfortable with it.
Yes, I've gotten comfortable, but just a few months ago, I had to go tell Tom to go work on something in the garage, so he couldn't.
Yeah, or you'll
hear
come in
me
and be like,
record
put
a
on your
video.
headphones or something.
Yeah.
Even though all I hear is like.
I know, but I just.
Yeah. So there's things like that. The thing I guess that would have been difficult was because you've been doing YouTube longer than me, and you're someone I looked up to, and you helped push me to get started. To really sort of like want to live up to expectations, feel like I wanted to impress you with it, like
cute,
like putting unneeded pressure on myself because of those things.
Because obviously I wasn't.
No, you weren't doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like super awesome. Obviously, like living with someone who's doing the same thing, but also it is tricky when it's like, we just had this discussion last week where I came up with my creator creed. I came up with this whole new thing with my tutorial channel. And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to copy what Tom's doing. I'm going to upload every Thursday, 5:15 a.m. I'm going to like copy the branding, copy the channel banner and all this and this and this and this. And then like, I just like died before I even got started. And the reason was like, now there was this new boss that was like, you have to do it that way. When you don't, right?
All this pressure from yourself.
And I was like, I've never, the 6 going on 7 years that I've been doing YouTube, who's never been consistent with every intention of trying to be is this one right here. So why is that going to change now? And like,
you have to do what works for you. Because
exactly.
there's things like, I was working on a video about using two cameras to film. And I was talking about a reason I like to use two cameras when I film is because I like to try and cover up my jump cuts, even though there's nothing wrong with jump cuts, especially on YouTube. But about a year ago, I was like, you know what? I just want to try to have as few jump cuts as possible. That's not a rule. There's no boss telling me to do that. It was something I wanted to try to do, that I like the way that it looks, and it sort of forced me to get a little more creative with how I edit things, how I piece things together. And that was a really fun challenge because that's what worked for me. And so like, I think it is fun to, if you wanted to say, okay, I'm going to try to do this workflow or do this here and see if it works for you. But if it totally doesn't work, there's no reason to like keep choking it to life.
Yeah. Okay, let's catch up with comments and then I have other questions. Ron is saying my skin is totally luminescent.
Luminescent. Wow. It is. It looks really great.
Okay, so now I have to.
I look quite translucent, but
we need to find this now. Can you?
Mr. Camera Junkie, there is coffee flavored coffee. I've heard about that. My very first job was in a coffee shop, actually. My very first job was at a TV station, but that was unpaid. I started as an unpaid intern. My first paid job was at a coffee shop while I was also interning at the TV station.
You worked 2 jobs as a student?
As a junior in high school.
This is Tom Buck for you right here.
And then I bought
dedicated person
in the
whole world.
Fender Telecaster with my first paycheck from my coffee shop job, which was fun. Tom looks good too, of course. Thank you. Leo says, I really start batch recording content for Instagram instead of creating something new every day. Yeah, so, I mean, Leo, your stuff is so good. And part of your magic is how different everything can look, even though you're in like the same space. So what I've been trying to do is when I have everything set up for something like, you know, hey, I've got 3 cameras set up with an overhead shot. Is there more than one video I can make that has this, that needs this setup, and I should take advantage of that?
Okay.
That's been helpful.
Are you ready? Just cause.
That's purple. And the wall is also not purple. It all went to your hair.
Like, how that's purple. And I miss that.
Can we just appreciate the wall, though? The whole background situation. The leveling up of the background situation.
I know, because when we painted this, we painted it gray. Look at this.
You painted it twice.
Look at that.
The gray actually does not look bad. And you can flood it with different colored lights, which is cool. The problem with the gray was we didn't get a super matte gray, and you can see in that picture it's kind of shiny. And that I never like the way that looks. And so this is a very
neither here nor there.
But everywhere.
J Poetics, how hard was it to build a community in the beginning stages on YouTube? That's a very good question.
That is a great question. I think for me it wasn't intentional. Like, I was happy once I hit a point.
Well, actually, here, this question's kind of related.
Was it? Well, let me just get my thought out real quick.
Get your thought out.
I think it was Monica. Someone posted in our Just Create More yesterday that they hit 36 subs.
Oh, I can't remember.
And I remember specifically hitting 36 because that was a big deal, because I was like, I hadn't told anyone in my real life other than Heather that I had a YouTube channel. And I was like, I definitely know.
Find the coming out post.
I was like, I definitely know I haven't had, I don't know, 36 people. So these are people who found the channel and wanted more of it, which is really cool. And then you start to know, like, there are people early on, even if it's just one person who kind of like shows up and leaves a comment on every video and stuff. And that was really cool. And just kind of nurturing that and paying attention to that. And then it just sort of, it really just comes down to if someone's giving you their time, because that's really what they're giving you when they're interacting with something you've made. Like, the videos are free, sure, but they're giving you their time to watch them. And if they're going to take even more time to share something, especially if it's positive about that, I think it's important as much as you can to reciprocate that. And that is hugely helpful because people don't feel like they're just saying something to no one. They're watching something they like, they're saying something, and then they're getting a two-way street from the person who made it. And that makes it a really cool thing.
Oh, I want to find your post when you announced to the world about the YouTube channel, because I just think it's also
be a while ago. It's my one public music performance.
Okay, yeah.
I was Brian May from Queen.
Okay, so Spiral Lab. Can you remind us what your growth was year to year over 5 years?
Yes. So, yes, started channel, uploaded first video in July of 2017. Hit 100 subscribers in January of 2018. Hit 1,000 in June of 2018. So 1 year to get to 1,000. June of 2019 was 5,000 because I remember I made a post about that because I was like 5,000 is crazy. January of 2020 was 10,000, which I was like, I can't fathom this number. January 20, and then 2020 was a pretty big growth year. So I think
2020 was the one.
I think by the end of 2020 it was at 45. And by March of 2021, when I left my job, it was 65,000.
Making myself sick.
And
Scrolling
now
through your
it's
timeline here.
now it's what, July of 2022 and almost 100.
What was the date that you did this?
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't remember
It was
that?
years ago.
It must have been 2017 though.
It would have been after that.
2017 or 2018?
Oh, that's 2018. It would have been before that.
Yeah, so we're still going.
I was going through my whole Facebook feed because I actually used to.
I was
post
scared
things on
because I
Facebook.
haven't gone on Facebook since my birthday, and people sent me really nice messages, but I just haven't been on Facebook.
That's really funny. Monica, have you ever run out of ideas, and how did you get over that? Where do you get new
That's a very
ideas?
good question.
Yes, I have a running notes document that I just throw ideas in, and I put them in different categories. So here's ideas for videos related to audio, streaming, cameras, whatever. And so usually if I'm on like writer's block, I can go pick an idea, but sometimes I go through those and like I don't want like none of them. It's like when you open the pantry and there's food in there, but you're like, there's nothing to eat. Nothing sounds good. And it's really hard.
That's
so then
the perfect analogy.
I try to pay attention to questions that questions I've been getting, like, man, I've answered this same comment about something 5 times now, or I try to just be aware of a thing that I'm seeing, like a trend that's popping up in the space that I'm interested in, like, wow, it seems like a lot of people are wondering how to, I don't know, do something with their Stream Deck and use it for more than just streaming stuff. Okay, maybe we can make a video about that, even though I think my video about that was Lewis's idea. But anyway, that's kind of what I have done personally.
Found it.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, let's see. Well, so this was a question. Tom, Oh No Coffee says, Tom, did you target, identify an audience to focus on? So many YouTube gurus talk about that. That was what I wanted to ask you is niche. Like,
yeah. Oh, okay.
Because I'm not sure if everyone knows this. But you didn't set out to do YouTube being like the audio, video, photo person.
No.
Or audio, video is what it is, yeah.
No, it was weird. I didn't want to like start out and I'm just going to make a channel all about me. So that was like my first video was how to get your drone license, because I was like, okay, it's me explaining something and filling in gaps that I found when I was trying to learn how to do something.
It's very cute, by the way. Please go to Tom's channel and watch
You
his
don't have to
first
do
video
that.
because it is so. This is Tom pre YouTube, but it's so teacher Tom. Like this is like Tom teaching you stuff. And
Yes.
it's very cute.
And then there was like experimenting, and then like there were a lot of like vloggy things which are more me focused, but that was more of like a practice, like figuring out how to make a YouTube video more than like I want to make this video to grow. So niche. As far as niche, the camera photo thing was so busy that I was like, I can't be a camera channel.
But you started out like, did you even know what you were going to make
No,
videos about?
It wasn't what I intended it to be. My original idea never happened.
What do you mean?
My original idea. So yeah, you can see my channel starting date is June of 2017, but I didn't upload a video for several weeks. The reason for that, because I had
that's right.
I had an idea for a blog back in 2010 called The Enthusiasm Project. And the whole idea was predicated on we're all going to die because life is really short. And it really sucks if you don't spend that time doing something you're excited about. And so I wanted to just, whether it was for work or for fun, I wanted to like do these little profiles of people who I thought were doing really cool stuff. Like I have friends who are artists, friends who had their own businesses. I know the people who run a company that makes like really cool guitar and camera straps out of old car material. I was like, oh, like just showcasing what these people do. Right, I asked you when we met.
He asked me to officially be a...
2010, it was going to be a blog, and then I sat on that for 7 years. And then it made more sense of like, oh, I could do a YouTube thing where it's like little documentary style things, like profile pieces. And so I finally got the idea of like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I put a whole list of people together, like 20 people. And I had a whole thing of like, initial email, response, date scheduled, like the whole little spreadsheet thing.
Stop.
And I created the channel. I was like, it's happening. I sent out all the stuff. And then immediately, even though some people were interested in doing it, it was like, oh, this is a scheduling nightmare because
it's hard when
it's
you're on
all
other
dependent on
people's
someone
schedule.
else's schedule.
It's hard.
It also then very quickly would be depending on me traveling because
you have to go there.
You're going to run out of local people really quickly. And I was like, this sucks. I'm going to make one video every 2 or 3 months probably. And that's when I realized like I could do that, in the future, but if all I have to do is count on myself, I can make a video today. Like I don't, if I'm the like barrier to entry or whatever, I can, if I'm the weakest link, then yeah.
Course,
and so that was why like I never wanted to even be in front of the camera on the channel. That was the original idea.
Michael H says, how did being consistent on YouTube affect your podcast recording schedule?
Yeah, that's the interesting question about that is because I have not wanted to sacrifice YouTube consistency. I have had to realize that I need to sacrifice something. And so I've learned to sacrifice podcast consistency. So there are sometimes weeks where I don't upload one. And sometimes it's literally just because I don't feel like it. And there's no other reason. But I also break it into seasons. So I was doing 21 episode seasons, which I did that for 5 seasons, which is a lot of episodes.
You're so consistent, man. This guy.
21 episodes though is 21 weeks. It's a lot of work. And so earlier this year I went down to 10 episode seasons, which is way more manageable. And then taking a break in between those to kind of like breathe, gather my thoughts, and then let it switch from being a thing I have to do to being a thing I'm really excited to do. And once it feels like that again, then I'm like, yeah, okay, ready to go.
Yeah. Leo, what's one skill you wish you had learned sooner? Doesn't necessarily have to be related to filmmaking, but just one thing that helped you grow as a creator or just as a person in general.
That's a great question.
That is a really good question.
I guess
still want to take an improv class, by the way.
I do too. They're just like aren't anywhere we live.
Yeah. But I think that would really help with like delivery.
And just that would be amazing. I think to kind of go off of that, I remember specifically, I think it was the 10,000 milestone video where I started telling jokes.
Wow.
So I went that whole time. Yeah, I went from 2017 to 2020. I mean, there'd be
now
little...
we need to watch a 2018 video.
I have, because I linked to them in current videos, and they're very good videos, but they're very dry. It's just like in Final Cut Pro, you can create a preset by clicking on File and this over here. It's just tells you what you need to know and nothing else, which is not ineffective. But I remember, so the reason I did that was because that is just who I am. So the videos where I wasn't doing that, I was actively holding back. And as a teacher, being like telling the jokes and kind of like going off script a little bit is one of the best things that helped me like connect with students and to build relationships and stuff. And I'm sad that it took so long for me to realize it's the same thing online, like the same things that help me connect with. I mean, a room of teenagers who most of whom don't even want to be there or didn't choose to be there, and trying to win them over. That's a really hard audience. Yeah. So compared to YouTube, where someone actually even chose to click on the video,
they clicked on the video,
you're already at an advantage. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to like be okay with like letting a little more personality show up. And I wish I had done that sooner, not in a distracting way. Like, I don't want to do the thing where the video is supposed to be about something and like it kind of is after 11 minutes has passed. Like, I want
you don't want to be like obnoxious about
the purpose of the video is the focus, but the
delivery could be
it can just be a little different and a little more, especially with stuff like audio video, because it's so easily intimidating to people. And so if you're kind of making jokes or being a little self-deprecating or whatever, it makes it less scary because it's like, oh yeah, okay, this stuff it's all
because
goofy.
the audio video people already know how to do it, so they're not watching your videos. But the people that you're talking to, like,
I mean, it depends on what the video is about, but just that it doesn't really sound like a skill, but the skill of being able to incorporate your personality while still focusing on the actual topic. And some people have, like really over the top personalities or really like mellow ones. The thing that helped me get over it was Film Riot. It was one of like the earliest YouTube channels that I ever started watching. Ryan, who was the main host of Film Riot, talks really fast. And he always has. But in their early ones, I remember there was a period of time where he was like, people have been telling me that I talk too fast and I need to slow it down. There's like several episodes where he's trying to talk really slow and it's weird. It like doesn't work. And finally he got to a point where he was like, I know I talk really fast. It is how I talk. I am sorry. And they've been doing that for 10 years. And that's like really, I happened to just randomly stumble across that video again around this time. And I was like, yeah, people don't like that and they're mad about that. But that's also what makes it enjoyable for him. I like it because I can, like, he kind of talks how I talk. So it makes sense to me. And I just sort of realized, like, oh, if I put my own personality, yeah, it's going to turn some people away, but it's also going to connect with other people more. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so if you are just tuning in, the big milestone that Tom hit is yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of his very first upload on YouTube.
It's crazy.
Yes, the 100K is around the corner, but he hasn't hit that yet. But he will probably do a members only, just create more.
We'll do something.
Live stream to celebrate. So if you want to check that out, then go join Just Create More or sign up for Tom's membership. And we're just basically doing a Q&A all about Tom's 5 years on YouTube. So
yeah, because that's the cool thing is like number milestones you don't have a lot of control over. Like
there are people
audience milestones, I guess,
creating on YouTube for 10 years and don't hit 100K. It's just there's only so much you can control with that. But
you have control over not giving up. You have control over trying to get better with your skill set.
Yeah, and that's, I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, because you've also been doing it a year longer.
Yes, but also I stop a lot, so it's fine. I mean, I'm proud of me too, but I've been witness to the whole thing, all the ups and downs, and I'm trying to think of like, the reality of it, and I want to try to convey that as much as possible to other content creators, because it just hasn't been easy. I know it's easy to look at it now and be like, Tom, you've got such a process. And
well, I mean, that's how it is with I was talking with one of my friends, like an online friend who has a channel that's
an online friend. Let's distinguish
on the World Wide Web. Well, I don't know, like whatever. Okay. Someone who I've never met in real life, but we talk a lot online.
Okay.
Who has a YouTube channel that's rapidly approaching 1 million. And he sent me a thing the other day. I was like, wow, you're so close to 100K. That's awesome. And I was like, yeah, it feels so close, but so far. Cause it feels like it's just been like, hup, like it's just like, right, but can't go there. And he was like, yeah, that's how I feel about 1 million. And I remember I was like, from my point of view, when I look at your channel and it's growing, I think like, yeah, of course he's going to hit 1 million. No problem. Like he's got easy peasy. Like he has it all figured out. But obviously, from your point of view,
it's the same.
That's not how it feels. And so that's how it's like, oh, and I remember thinking any channel with over 10,000, like I shouldn't even talk to that person because like we're not allowed to be in like the same room. I remember we went to the No Small Creator meetup in 2018. I think there were a couple of people at like 17 or 20K. And I was like, oh, I can't go over to them.
Oh my God,
which was just me. It wasn't them.
Tom thought.
Yeah. But I thought like, wow, the things that you're dealing with are so different. The process is so, and it's not. It really isn't at all. And I remember even like when I started out, because you had your channel and then like James and Mark had their channel all prior to me, and you guys had like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers and all this stuff. And I remember thinking like, those are real YouTube channels. Like I can't chime in with my idea or my little whatever, because it's not like I don't know. It was all very self-imposed.
See what we talk about mindset? A
It's
lot of
all
it is
mindset.
in your head.
It's all mindset. Yeah.
Ian says, where do you see YouTube and or podcast content creation in the next 3 to 5 years?
That is a really good question.
We also have a ton of questions, so you're going to have to...
Okay. Podcasts, as much as I like kind of wish it wasn't true because the workflow is a nightmare, video podcasting can't be overlooked. Like, I really want to add a new thing to my course that addresses at least the basics of video podcasting. Content creation, obviously short form is huge right now, but this is just me based on nothing, so do not make any like decisions based on this. I think short form is going to burn out at a certain point. If not, burnout's probably not. It's not going away, but I think it's going to kind of like even out again, where it's like long form's not going anywhere, short form's the hot new thing. Eventually, everything kind of like reaches equilibrium. Yeah. I do think TikTok will not be around for that long, though.
Hi,
personally.
Carissa. She says she loves your video style.
Thank you very much.
Monica says, probably off topic, but talking about J-cuts, I got a comment from a viewer that suffers from epilepsy, and J-cuts some transitions might trigger episodes. Anybody here has experience on that?
I can imagine transitions because some of them are like flashy, glitchy. J-cuts, though, unless it's... Well, I can't say. I don't know the person. Because the J-cut... It's just a cut, so unless there's multiple really quickly...
If you're cutting from, like, a black background to a white background or something like that, that would be really noticeable. I was just editing my video earlier where it's just same shot here, plenty of jump cuts, because I kept saying like for some reason. I cut those out. But I don't think it's noticeable.
Well, because the J-cut would be where the audio from the next clip comes in earlier.
Oh, shoot, that's right. It's not just the jump
so
cut.
The thing that I'm thinking is if the person is being affected by like hearing a new audio thing and then seeing a visual thing, but I don't know enough. I haven't heard that before.
Hey, Jared, out in the wild with Jonah Gaze.
Greetings from Turkey. What? You were here last week. Now you're in Turkey. Boy, that's making me hungry.
World according to Briggs. It took me forever to get to 100 subs and it's snowballs.
Oh, 100. Oh my God. That's like the most impossible
Call me
one.
Cubby. Hi, guys.
Hey.
That's Tom. Caleb's here. How many subs did you have when you came
100.
out?
That was the big one.
Let's talk about that coming out situation.
Yeah, so it was...
We talk about this because it was a post. I have it right here.
Oh, Lord. You don't have to read that one.
August 21st, 2017. And I'm not going to lie. When I saw this, I call it the coming out because Tom had a YouTube channel for, I guess it was only 2 months.
You know what this is? I can tell you exactly the mindset behind this. Because I thought I didn't come out until 100, but this is not that. This is like 20. This is right after we met for the first time. Because we met on, August? 18th. And then you left on the 19th. And this is August 21st. So what it was I was hiding everything. You showed up and you boosted my confidence and like, no, this is something you should do. It is valid. It is whatever. And then I did not want to tell anyone in my real life that I had a YouTube channel.
He was so embarrassed. Like, it's not embarrassed, but it was like, you were so... I was looking at Tom with like the same way I do now. Like, you have so much to share. You can make such a difference and like, we have this tool that'll help you connect with other people that are just as excited as you are about this thing. Why are you choosing to like hide yourself? Yeah, like, I don't understand. But we're also very different. So I had no apologies. I was just like, let's go.
What I wanted to do was wait for 100 because I didn't want to tell people about it and then make it seem like I was asking them to subscribe and support because I was like, please don't. I wanted it to be, I figured like once I have 100 and then people find out about it, it'll be a thing that already like exists, is up and running. It's legit, like with or without you. Yeah, so.
Okay, I'm just going to read a little bit of this.
Oh, Lord.
This is so adorable. Did you link your YouTube channel?
I don't know. I'm not good at the marketing. You want to talk about skills and
Okay, so here, this is Tom. August 21st, 2017. I feel compared to share something with you, but I don't know exactly why. It's because you met me.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
why.
because it's the last day of summer and this has been without a doubt the greatest summer of my entire life. Or maybe it's because I stared at the eclipse for too long. That's right. There was an eclipse.
The big eclipse. I melted my little like thing. With
Either way, I'll try to condense this as much as possible. So read on or don't. It's your choice. I'm not your mother. This is such a Tom thing to say. After a lifetime of feeling like a loser, reject, outsider, but managing to put my head down year after year to do the work and be a doormat to get where I wanted to be, and still being told things like I'm on the spectrum or unable to make meaningful connections or that I'm focusing energy on the wrong priorities, I hit my breaking point earlier this year. And what I learned was simple. At rock bottom, you have two options: get up or don't. It took the first 20 or so years of my life. I think I'm going to cry.
Oh no.
I'm crying. Oh no.
My writing is so good. I love you, Jared. You don't have to keep reading my Facebook post from 5 years ago.
Okay. It took the first 20 or so years of my life on this planet to learn that every person has the power to shape his or her own life, and it took more than another decade to finally put that into action. For a few concrete examples, here's a quick rundown of my past 60 days. There's a lot here, so...
It was a really cool summer. I still remember
You earned your
it.
drone certification, you crashed your drone,
Yes,
you
I
built
did.
a television studio, made more friends from places and backgrounds that I could have ever imagined, created more original independent work than I ever had before, formed the beginnings of a band, finally learned how to play the 1/16th notes on the hi-hat, booked a trip to the other side of the planet, Iceland,
And
became a
Switzerland.
better teacher, friend, and human, got in the best physical shape of my life, learned that my thoughts and ideas can have value, wrote 3 courses that became UC approved and have the potential to genuinely affect positive change, learned how to ride an electric skateboard,
Oh yeah.
started to become comfortable with my thoughts and ideas with the world, with sharing my thoughts and ideas with the world. This isn't a conclusive or magical list, but it is a collection of things I've spent a long time thinking of as being for other people.
Oh yeah.
I don't say any of this to boast. Some of it isn't that impressive, and I don't pretend to assume that there aren't also more dark times ahead. I say this simply based on this idea: do what you can't.
Yeah. Oh.
So, I don't know why I thought this was your coming out post about YouTube. You didn't even mention it.
It wasn't my YouTube because I did do it at 100. That was my like.
Okay, now I gotta find the YouTube.
That was my like F you. I won't do what you tell me post.
So this is the guy. Okay, that gives you a picture of the person who finally was like, I'm gonna make my YouTube channel. I'm gonna make my YouTube video, and like, you know.
This one, it wasn't the post. Yeah.
Okay, you found the post. I'm gonna catch up in comments. Woo! All right. Daniel Shaler.
Daniel.
I have to jump on a business call in a couple minutes, but really wanted to pass quickly. Congratulate Tom from the Matterhorn country. Well done and massively deserved.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm always jealous of wherever you're at, whatever we hear from
Drew,
you.
people that always show up and typically leave a comment or two. Tom, Art Media Bailey.
I found a post that just says, "Hey, you guys," and it's a picture of the McRib being back at McDonald's.
Let's see. Ron remembers the 5,000 announcement, so I guess I must have subbed before
That's
then.
a long time.
Actually, yeah. If you remember when you subscribed, I guess you must have already been... Okay, you guys are doing all this already. But I'm curious as to, like, when you found Tom. Derek says, thoughts on establishing a channel identity before starting when you have several ideas for content that may link but could be seen as unfocused.
I would say, like, do the best you can to create your channel identity, but just don't be married to any of it. Like, know that it's like the so many people will, and so many TV shows will start a pilot episode where it's like, we have our whole universe figured out in the first episode. And it's like, no, by season 3, it's all different. So many people will start a channel where they're like, this is how every video is. This is what my podcast is. And it always evolves. And that's completely how it should be. So just do the best, start with what you can, and just be comfortable with the idea that you're going to find things and evolve it over time.
James and Mark says, the Tom I initially subscribed to has definitely evolved to the Tom we see today. There's definitely like I mean, like, the passion was always there, but just personally, I mean, that post says it all. It's like, wow. I'm like so happy for you.
Thank you. I can't find
You
this
know,
post.
okay, so 1,000 after a year, 5,000 after 2, and then 10K at 2.5. Something
Yes.
to strive for, as I'm at 5K now and at 3 years.
I mean,
But also, like, I'm at 6 years and at 11,000.
and there are people who started 6 months ago and are 200,000, 300,000.
Yeah,
like
it's
everybody's
hard to do the
journey is very, very
consistency
different.
with numbers.
Oh, here it is, February 23rd, 2018.
Okay, that's like almost a year. Well, no.
Oh,
like,
it's a really short post, actually. It has a bunch of hashtags on it.
Cute.
Really, hashtag makers.
That's adorable. Oh, there's nothing really like...
No, it's not. I think we were like merging those two separate posts. Because this just says, 7 months ago, I grabbed my camera and started a YouTube channel called The Enthusiasm Project so they get back into the habit of creating more original work. Since then, I've made nearly 100 videos, most of which I'm proud of. I'm asking you to do me a favor, take a few minutes. Oh, I actually asked people to check it out.
Did you plug your link there?
You know what? That's because you told me to do that. Because you were like, you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm doing this thing. You should be like, no, you freaking...
That's right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be proud of what you're making?
That's a you influence right there.
Like,
You're talking about who's an influencer?
Oh boy. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so let's see. Tom is very close to his followers. He answers with great care.
I try.
Hi, my name is Tom, and in this video, I'll give you the resources you need to take and pass the FAA Part 107 test.
Yes, with echoey audio.
Oh, this is cute.
I was very happy, though, because I think I have 3 different graphics that pop up on screen throughout the course of that video.
Caleb says, talking about our first YouTube videos, my first video involved me in front of a window with a phone wearing a suit. I don't know why I wore a suit.
Was it all backlit, like, because the window was so bright?
Oh, boy. Let's see. Oh, here. Out of 5 years, are there some videos that you completely regret, or videos that you would say are the best?
There's none I regret.
I mean, does any of them stand out? If you had to like think of one video from the last 5 years, does something stand out?
Well, it's funny. Yes. So the ones that stand out, I remember my Iceland video really stands out. My video about making a scale.
The Iceland video is still one of my favorites.
My video about making a scale water tower. Our Switzerland videos really. None of those have to do with the normal stuff on my channel.
It's all the vlogs.
Well, because those are personal. But it's funny because going back and watching a lot of those, like, I wish I could make them after I decided to like put more personality into the videos because they don't have it. But I really like the videos and I'm proud of those.
Ron says, I gotta say, I think the best move in recent times was changing the name of the channel from the Enthusiasm Project to your name.
You know, recent times, that was like 2 years ago already.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, how many subscribers did you have? 25,000?
25K, yeah.
Nice.
Because I was really scared, but I was like, well, if I'm going to ever change the channel name, waiting until it gets bigger, especially one thing, if you go past 100K and change your channel name at all, including like capitalizing a letter or something, you lose all of your verifications and have to restart them all.
How long is your break between podcast seasons? Kevin is asking.
Usually it's a month. Usually it's a month. After this current season, I'm thinking of doing an extendo break.
Yeah.
But usually a month.
Action Crypto, how many subs did you lose when you let your personal life shine through?
I mean, I'm sure there were some. There's some every time you publish a video, you lose subscribers, but you know, you gain more than you lose, right? And those are people who
are there for the personality.
Yeah, the people who leave because you're sharing who you are probably the people who shouldn't. And I don't even mean that in a bad way, but like shouldn't be there because it's not for them.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Monica says, those of us who can't tell jokes are doomed.
No, it's like, because some people think, like, there are people I watch who their personality or their version of jokes is being just really laid back and really mellow.
How did Peter Lingard become your best friend?
I remember I was a fan of his, and then we would comment on each other's videos. And I remember one day I showed you, this was prior to changing the channel name, Peter made a video that was like, my favorite YouTube channels. And he talked about my channel, but he didn't know my name.
The name.
He was like, the guy's Tom or Tim or something.
Yep.
And then we started just like, how did we started messaging each other somehow on Instagram or something maybe. And then during the pandemic, when everyone was isolated, like mid 2020, and Peter was even more isolated because he's all the way on the other side of the planet from like most other people who are doing YouTube. He was like, hey, you want to like jump on a FaceTime or something so we can hang out? And then we just became buddies.
Tom and Peter hit it off instantly. Like then it was just every day. You guys were FaceTiming.
We FaceTime today.
Yeah, like it's crazy how much.
Yeah.
they talk. It's cute. I'm really
It's
excited.
really nice. It's hard to make friends as an adult.
It
so
totally is, yeah.
No matter where they are on the planet, it's nice to be able to make a friend.
Monson Media, can you talk about your first revenue streams of income besides YouTube ads and why you chose those companies and what were your early experiences like?
Yeah, so choosing companies is a very new thing because I didn't do any actual sponsored stuff. I did one sponsored video in late 2019 with Epidemic Sound, and then I didn't do any others until last summer with Artlist, which I've done several, and I've done a gear focused one too. That's it. But the first thing that actually generated revenue before AdSense was affiliate stuff through Amazon. And I was very like, I'm not going to do affiliate links because, and then I made a lens review video that did pretty well. And even though the channel had like 500 subscribers, 600 subscribers, I made a review on a lens that cost $1,000. And in the first week, I had 5 people say, thanks, I bought this lens because of your review. And I was like, wait, that's 5 people bought $1,000 lens because of this. And it's like, if I had put just, there's already a link in the description to like, here's the lens. If I had just used a different link, it wouldn't have changed anything for them, but I would have made hundreds of dollars potentially at that point, depending on the percentage. It seems dumb not to do that. And it was dumb not to do that. So yeah, affiliate stuff was good for me.
India's here, says congrats.
I love Kevin's like ratio reminder. 57, only 26. What's up with that?
If you had a magic wand to increase your sub count, would you? And if so, how high?
No. I mean, I don't think I would. What?
I was gonna say like
10 million.
No, I was gonna say like stop.
Oh,
like get to 100 and now like we're cool because now it's like,
no, I can say like
reaching more.
So here's what I will
people
say is
that-
reaching more people is great, but there is a benefit to like slower, moderate, consistent growth because the people who are joining, the people you're reaching are more of the right people for you. A lot of times, and a lot of people I've known who've had the crazy exponential growth where they, hundreds of thousands in a couple weeks or something. A lot of times it's really hard because there's a whole brand new audience. There's people who don't know them there. The expectations are different. And then that huge rush of people, if they don't immediately connect with things and they don't watch any more of it, which then ends up hurting the person's channel more. Yeah. So it's like, it seems cool when, I've seen stuff where it's like, Mr. Beast is going to get this brand new YouTuber to 1 million subscribers or something. And it's like, that's a nightmare. It's much better to just kind of do your thing and grow at the rate at which you grow.
There's space for everyone here on YouTube, and look at where you're at now, Tom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cute. Ken says 5 years and not missing a single week is very impressive. Congratulations, Tom. After 25 years of content creating, I actually had short or longer pauses from time to time in those 25 years.
Yeah, I found Ken has an amazing photography blog that
really?
goes back
That's awesome.
years and is really good. It's really
YouTube
fun.
shorts suck. Pure confirmation, no depth, no thinking.
I mean, it depends on the person. I don't enjoy creating them most of the time, but some people are brilliant at it.
Yeah.
I think with that, it's important to understand what you like, both as a creator and a consumer or viewer, like, and not to feel like, well, shorts are popular, so I have to consume this. Like,
no. Coffee says 2 years in, I still a little bit self-conscious when I tell people I make YouTube videos. 5 years in, still self-conscious.
What a nightmare question.
So
what do you do?
He look at him.
Yeah.
He starts sweating.
Yeah, that's what I do.
If I'm like waiting for the chance for someone to ask me what I do because I'm excited about it.
I'm happy to talk about YouTube stuff, and it depends on the person. Some people are more like, some people are just the kind of person that you'd want to talk about that with more.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's okay. We're behind, so we should catch up anyway.
We're gonna go Who had Heather crying the first hour on the bingo card?
From a Facebook post, no less.
I know. Jeez. Hey Zen, live streaming help. Tom, are you saying it's easier to admit you're a Donny Osmond fan rather than a YouTube creator? That is a very good question. Who is that?
I think Donnie and Marie. They had their show. I forget what casino it was in Vegas. They had their pictures on it for a decade. Off this whole side of the building.
Okay, post color. Do what you can. That needs to be on a shirt. That is actually.
I didn't make that up.
Yeah, that's. Casey Neistat's tagline.
Because Casey was the thing that like
Watch that video. Go to Casey's channel.
Yeah, go watch that video. It's so good.
It's just like if you are a creator and you need like what we're doing is like so awesome, go watch that video.
If you need the push to feel like, no, I could do this and it doesn't have to be perfect.
It's such a good video.
Yeah. Start with what you can. So many TV shows like are just weird shells of what they would become. Shells.
Are we vlogging our desert trip? It is going to be hot, yo. So we'll see. It has been super fun to watch the growth and cheer you on. Congratulations. Aw. Rambling Vlogger, channel identity. There is another Rambling Vlogger I've discovered. He's US and I'm UK. I've got the YouTube, Twitter, and Insta name officially and bought the domain. Thoughts?
I don't think... Well, it's really funny. So the band Blink-182...
There's another Tom Buck.
Yeah, there is. There's a few, but there's one. There's TomBuck.com is a voiceover actor guy. Thank God, because a lot of the other Tom Bucks that pop up in the news are weird and like like one of them is like went to jail for like financial fraud or something, and there's it's just weird. Oh, there was once, I should tell you this, when I was out of high school and I was working at the video store, which is a thing that used to exist. I remember when people came in to sign up for accounts, we'd have to take their driver's license and their credit card and type in all the info. And this guy came in and he was like, hey, can I create an account? And I was like, yeah, sure. I took his thing and I was typing in his thing and his license said Thomas Buck. And I was like, did I put my ID up here? And I was like, your name is Tom Buck? And he was like, yeah. I was like, my name is Tom Buck.
That's so weird.
And it turns out we had different middle names, but his middle name was my grandpa's middle name, who was also named Tom Buck. So we had the exact same name as my grandpa. And I was like, wow, it's so cool. It's so interesting. And then he immediately went back into the adult movie section and turned out to be kind of a weirdo. I was like, damn it.
No judgment.
I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah,
it was 2004. I get it. But like,
do you though?
Okay, that's not what made him a weirdo. It just, you have repeat customers and you're just like, you know what? Just not super comfortable around this person, actually. Those kind of things. Like,
okay, so what you have thoughts on channel identity? I don't think you should worry.
I don't think you should worry. That's my thought. That's my ultimate thought. I don't think you should worry.
I don't think you should worry.
There's room for everybody.
Yeah, and I know the name's gonna be like. The only time I would worry is if the other name is like trademarked.
Yeah, if they've already done
you should
stuff,
definitely not encroach.
Yeah, don't create the Verizon YouTube channel.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because the chances are, both of you, I don't think both of you are going to be creating content in 5 years. So is it going to be you or him?
Yeah, or her.
Or them.
Monica says, we all need a Heather in our creator lives.
That's true.
I got you.
That's true.
I got you guys. All right? That's what this show is for.
100% true. It's fun to see the direct influence. Like,
that's so cute.
Yeah.
Adorbs. Let's see.
Thank you, Killer of Demons 669.
Tom Buck 2 is the best.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I mean, didn't forget about it.
Scrolling through to try to
catch up a little bit.
How was your creative experience during the pandemic?
For me, it was great because I got to stay inside and play with gear, which is what I would normally do all the time, but I'd feel guilty for not going outside and doing stuff. So for me, it was like, no, now I'm being told to do the stuff I already wanted to do.
Pierre says, what is your ratio between your creative work, scenario shooting, and administrative work, affiliate management, accounting, mail? That is a very good question.
Yeah, that's actually been a problem lately. It's tipping too much towards the non-creative stuff, and there's no real need for that. So I'm trying to actively tip it more towards the creative side of things.
So it's probably, I want to say it is 50-50 right now because
it's probably like currently closer to 50-50, but it was getting like 60-40, but more admin, 70-30 maybe. And I want to tip it back and like the opposite of that.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. I want to be on YouTube for 13 years. That's amazing.
Yeah, my very first YouTube video was uploaded in 2007 on like some personal basically as a Google Drive thing. I needed to send a link to a friend that I recorded some music stuff for.
Tom, I sent a few people to your channel, but it seems like the live count isn't refreshing. What are you at right now?
Like YouTube only shows the well, thank you though. YouTube only
Chicken
shows.
adobo or leche flan.
Actually, we're at
That's cute.
99865. So 135.
99. Oh, okay. Yeah, so sometime this weekend we'll schedule
My guess would be Saturday.
there
Possibly
you go.
tomorrow,
Okay.
but probably
Well, let's
Saturday.
just call it Saturday. We'll do a live stream. Yeah, and we could
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not gonna say you never know. Let's see. Boop boop.
Philip's here and says, I agree on slow and steady.
Yes. James says, do you think making videos helps you enjoy teaching in the last few years? If so, how and why?
Yes. I'm not sure if you mean like while I was teaching, if it helped me enjoy it more. It's funny because starting the YouTube channel was a way to get like away from my job, but it ended up helping me be better at my job. And my job, communicating, explaining stuff, helped me to be better at YouTube. So they both were connected.
Yeah.
And then since leaving teaching, YouTube has been a great outlet for like, I really want to explain something right now to somebody, and now I can do that how I want.
Tech Audit TV,
Flamingo
Hotel.
thank you.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too, but
it
I was
on
like,
the side, right? Like
is
wallpaper.
it still called the Flamingo? Everything's
It
changing
is.
now. Okay.
It is, yeah. It's like one of the last.
I
Like,
get the
retro
Flamingo's like the
looking ones.
pinkish one, yeah.
It's right outside when you
That's
walk
why it's
out of
called the
the
Flamingo.
link.
Yeah.
Donnie is now at Harris with a new contract. He lives about 3 miles from my house. Wow. I imagine that dude in the video store really appreciated personal interaction with the clerk, who's definitely going to remember his name.
I hope he's doing well. I mean,
Oh, that sucks. What's
Yeah.
sad is all the vids from 2013 and back are all gone.
That does
sucks. How do you feel joining an agency could impact your reach?
I would never do it.
Yeah.
Personally, I've only heard horror stories about it, because it's also like the thing about reach on YouTube is the biggest thing is the YouTube algorithm, love it or hate it, and there is no magic thing that another like agency is gonna be like, we're gonna lock you into the secrets, and then like they push a button and now your channel explodes. They just take your ad revenue.
But the one thing I will say though is that the business side of being a full-time creator is very, very, very complicated. I mean, Tom just said 70-30. Like sometimes it takes a lot of time, and I 100% get that is something people would want to outsource.
Well,
like,
yeah,
just
so
the whole thing, take the whole thing, and like in exchange, you take a cut of what I make from YouTube. That makes sense to me. Like
agencies, but I do know a number of people who have managers, which kind of do so. That instead of, they'll just be like, "Hey, this company wants to do a sponsorship. Do you want to do it?" Yes. Okay. And the manager knows your terms, and the manager says, "Okay, you now have here's a Squarespace spot. It needs to be 60 seconds. Hit these points, you're done. Money in the bank account," and then they take a cut or whatever. I haven't done that. I'm not interested in doing that, but I know other people who it's been an absolute like lifesaver because it takes so much off of their shoulders.
I wish I had YouTubers local
Yeah.
to meet to hang out and talk shop from time to time.
100%.
Totally. I know we got really lucky.
Yeah, we got like the in person. You can do it online and it's great. But
Well, in Long Beach,
in-person
actually, it was easy.
Yeah, of course.
It was really easy because it's like super next to LA.
Where we're at, it's not easy.
Yeah, no, there's like 2 people, and it's us.
There's
Other people, yeah.
There are like there's a shocking number of massive YouTubers here who have like second homes, like people with millions and millions.
Yeah, like they're never gonna.
But
know
they're
who
also
we
in
are.
the lifestyle niche, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future Tom Buck merch.
What were we talking about? Something. I would love to. I don't have like a T-shirt idea or something, but I would love to do something practical. Like we talked about windscreens. Mic windscreens would be fun.
Did we?
We did at one point doing like custom windscreens.
No, was it?
But
I feel
a thing I would like, but I need like a company to work with, would be like a boom arm, where it's like all the stuff, all the thing where I could make smash
can
all the ones
design
I
it,
want
yeah.
together into like the perfect boom arm, where you're like, oh man, the person who made this like actually uses these things.
Gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would want. But that's like not merch. That's a different thing altogether.
Let's see. What here we go. Did you ever think about making videos on other subjects? Guitars, bass, drums?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the older videos, like you can see there's a hodgepodge. There's a lot of 3D printing videos and stuff. And then currently that's what my like second channel is for. Half the videos there are just bass related right now. And one about airplanes.
Don't you guys live out in Sandy Shores? Where's that?
Wait, I don't know if the name is familiar, but I don't know if you're talking about like the crazy Salton Sea area. No, we live in the Coachella Valley, so a little more in the realms of civilization.
7:10 a.m. in the future.
Ooh.
I'm only 2.5 hours away from you guys. Yeah,
That's super close.
that's pretty much like if you're in LA
We're
and
2
San
hours away
Diego,
from everything
yeah,
in Southern California.
that's where we are.
I love Peter T-shirt as merch. Yeah, just
I love being.
my merch is just about somebody else.
Boom mic arm that works well. Take my money. Oh yeah, boom arm. Mine is exactly like yours. A bunch of little adapters strung together.
Yeah, stuff where it's like, okay, you don't have to finagle adapters. The things turn the way you want them to turn. Yeah, like
oh, there we go. Call Pat Flynn.
that's true. Oh my god, though, I remember
pod connections.
Reading and watching their journey with the Switch Pod, which seems like such a simple device, like the different iterations it had to go through, getting the manufacturing process. Ooh,
right here, I wrote. What is this?
Something singing niche summarizing niche summer thing.
Oh
something.
man, I can't read my own writing.
I don't know. It's cryptic.
Surpassing thing.
I don't know. Josh is here. Josh Scott. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh. I haven't seen you in a while.
Road to Road starting any day now.
Okay, let me try to think of. I know we're running over, but let's like close it up with. What is okay? So we got a little glimpse of pre-YouTube Tom.
Sure.
What's the thing? Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
What's the thing that you're most proud of?
Okay. I mean,
and then, what is something you didn't expect?
Okay, most proud of is doing it, like doing the thing, sitting around and waiting for so many years to want to do it, and then thinking I couldn't do it. It's for someone else to do.
Other
and then
people
doing the
do
thing.
that, yeah.
Yeah, always so many things. I was just thinking about that this morning. So many things felt like for so long they were just for other people, and they're not. And YouTube, that's the thing that YouTube has taught me. The other question was, what are you most proud of? I think that, or the thing I've learned the most that
is what did you not expect? Or like
maybe it's that YouTube has taught me there's so many things in the world that you think maybe you don't, but I thought were for other people and they're not. Even stuff like,
what do you mean by that?
Okay.
Like,
so here's a really good example. Even something like, growing up, my family was pretty modest. Very rarely, if ever, would we do something like not only go out to eat, but like order dessert at a restaurant. And so if we were out to eat somewhere like Denny's or whatever, and I saw another table getting their dessert, it's like, wow, that looks so cool. We don't do that. Like, that's not for me. I don't get to do that kind of a thing. Or I even remember stuff like trying to do anything athletic as a kid, because you have to learn to be athletic, turns out. And it was a weird thing, like a combination of both family and just like friends and peers, where if I tried to do something physical or athletic and I wasn't immediately amazing, which shocking, I never was, it was like the ridicule and the humiliation was so huge that it was like, oh, I'll never do that. So that means the people who are really good at it are just naturally good at it. So someone who's going to be athletic or strong or whatever, that's not me. I can't do that. And that kind of thing, it would literally be, I can't, like anything, like going places. Like, there's just so many experiences, so many things that I just felt like that's not for me. That's what other people do. I'm not in a position to be able to do that. And YouTube was one of those. I would watch people. I'd be like, God, that looks so much fun to like make videos and set up a camera and stuff. But that's for other people, because if I do that, I'm going to be told that that's stupid. I'm going to be asked why I'm wasting my time doing it. I'm going to be criticized for who's going to want to watch you. What makes you think you should be in front of a camera? Even stuff like, honestly, like I have really good friends who I love to this day, and they're few and far between, because most of what I was surrounded with was just the people who happened to be geographically near me when I grew up, and a lot of them kind of sucked. And so it's like, well, this is it. Like my experience is you're just around people who are mean to you a lot, and that's the way that it is. And then even somebody like you and like James and Mark, like your whole circle would have been people like, if we went to school, it's fun that we always go like, if we went to school, we'd be friends. Honestly, if we actually went to school, I would have thought they look like they're having a lot of fun. I don't go over there. Like, I'm not somebody who gets to go over there and do those things. I don't go to the dances. I don't go to I don't get to be a part of that kind of stuff because it's not for me. And YouTube was one of those things. And then it was like wanting to do it and then really like hitting low points, and then also binging Casey Neistat videos where it was like, I think because even though we have very different lives, he's very much unapologetic about doing things his way. And his vlogs, his daily vlogs showed like, I'm going to do this thing my way, how I want, and it's going to be unconventional, but I'm going to be happy and have a lot of fun doing it. And I was like, you could just do that? And then so that was the push of like this thing, like I've been wanting to start something, whether it was a blog or a YouTube channel or whatever, for years. And like now I should just do the thing, and I'm going to start it. And then because of starting that was then why I was like, well, I started this channel. Maybe I could learn how to fly a drone. Maybe I could book a trip to a place I've always wanted to go, even though no one else ever wanted to go there. Maybe I could, buy an electric skateboard. Maybe I could, when I see somebody who seems really cool and is doing something that I think is really neat, maybe I could actually like send them a message and reach out to them. Like,
and then we got married.
Like it was a mindset thing, but it was also an experience thing, because it was a mindset. Like, I'm sure at any point in time,
right.
Sure, in high school, I probably could have found the people that I thought like I couldn't go over to that group over there.
And you could have just.
I probably could have.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't have the social skills to actually navigate that, but they could have been very, very nice. But so much of my experience really was people telling me, no, this isn't for you. No, you don't belong here. No, you are bad at this. No, you shouldn't do this. No, your idea is stupid. Like, that was literally not in my head. That was the experience.
Right.
And the thing about YouTube is you're not limited to your geographic location.
Right.
And that's the magic of it, is because you can do the thing that it seems like everyone around you is calling you an idiot for or whatever, and then you realize,
and then you connect with someone like me who's like, how come you're this like sheltered wallflower? Like, you should be front and center. I remember meeting Tom for the first time. I was like, this is like one of the coolest guys I've ever met, and he doesn't think so, and it's so confusing to me.
Thank you.
Because I have met way more uncool people who thought they were really cool,
way cooler
and
guys.
Like, no.
Yeah, so the YouTube was that thing, which is why, as frustrating as comments and analytics and algorithms and stuff we've talked about, like, we were able to meet, and that like personal empowerment that this platform for free
life-changing
provides is something that I can't ever like overemphasize or give too much appreciation to. And that has been the most empowering thing, where then it was like, it made me better at my job. It made me like more comfortable around people. It made me like, it just made me better in like every way. And so that's my answer to whatever the question was that you had asked.
That was such a great way to end it.
Yay.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate all the endless support, because it's
I've been your number one fan since I met you.
It's true. I think you're subscriber. I think you're subscriber number 2, because I was number 1. But you're number 2.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. I prefer pork over chicken adobo. God, I'm drooling just thinking about adobo. I've been vegetarian for like a year and a half.
Is that like adobo Photoshop?
Sandy Shores is a fictional town in GTA 5.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Because this was the thing when Peter was here.
He wanted to go see it.
Well, no. The big mountain in Sandy Shores is, because it's the mountain with the Palm Springs tramway. If you
he's pointing at it. It's not,
over there.
It's like
40 miles that way.
It's not like near.
You can see it from here. But that's the big mountain in GTA 5. And so when Peter was here, I was like, "Did you ever see GTA 5? That's the mountain." He was like, "I've been at the top of that."
Ron says, tell us about post YouTube Tom when he assumes his final form.
I don't know. Is he gonna like host a game show? Or
Hey,
something?
Peter Greg, can I come over next weekend? Answer exactly like a teacher would.
I would be like, oh man, that's so nice. It's really, we're just, you know, I love, what would I say? If a kid actually asked, I would be honest. When I was my like high school kids, when I started teaching high school, Facebook was still popular. And so kids would be like, can I add you on Facebook? And I would always go like, I don't add current students. So
That's
the
what I
day
would
you
say.
graduate, I'll add you,
Yeah,
knowing that they would never remember. And they never did.
I had students.
I mean, every once in a while.
As soon as they graduated, they were like, Mr.
Mine-
Ramirez, I want to add you.
At that time, I taught a lot of freshmen, so it was like, okay, in 4 years, if you're
yeah.
still into Facebook, which they weren't.
Bye, Daddy Toxic.
Adios.
I just like
Thanks
saying
for
your
being
name 'cause
here.
it's
You also
fun.
sent me like the nicest messages ever, which is so funny because it's just not what I expected, but I appreciate it. Oh,
Josh
Steve
said-
Jobs. Yes, I show that video, that specific video, to my students with the Do What You Can't video, like on the first day of school.
That's how
My juniors
that's
and
how
seniors.
Tom would if you were a new student in Tom's classroom,
Well, junior or senior.
going through like orientation math class, English class, all the classes, then you go into Tom's room and then he starts playing YouTube videos. It's like, oh, this is gonna be the fun
But it shows
class.
the power, because that's what Steve Jobs said. He's like, everything you know is made by people who were, I think he says, no smarter than you, but it's like they didn't have access to anything you don't have. Like all the constructs, everything, like you can poke at it, you can change it, you can tweak it a little bit. Like you don't have to just live within this pre-existing thing that somebody else made necessarily.
Let's see. You gave me fantastic advice before I really started. You said simply start. I'll remember that forever.
Aw,
Awesome.
I'm glad. I'm really
so
proud of what
cute.
you've done. But that's also like speaking from experience. Like this is the only regret, is not starting sooner.
Derek says, Tom, watching your videos has impacted on my own pursuits and also allowed me to have valid input
Yes.
to the college I work at with music and media. All success
That's
to you
so
and
great.
Heather is more than well deserved. That's awesome.
That's really great. I'm happy.
I love the discussion about where we're all located. One day, look, if I ever could have a superpower, I don't even know why people, like, why is this even up for debate?
What?
It's teleportation.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, everyone's like, flying. Why would you fly if you could teleport? Like,
You can get
Anyway.
a pilot's license. You can't get a teleport license.
let's see. 5 people you hang around most is who you become.
I've heard that too, which is why also like there's a lot of common advice for hanging around with people
The
who are
buck
like
arm.
above where you're at. But I could just make door stops and I call them buck stops.
Dude, who uses doorstops?
When I was a teacher, I did every day.
Oh, you did.
I had to go, and you know what doesn't provide them? Freaking schools. So I had to go to Home Depot and
Tom,
buy
a
them.
lot of us were outsiders. It feels good to tell you that you made it, buddy. And the out of reach people are working at 7-Eleven and sad.
I mean, some of them, in my case, from where I came from, some of them are dead from drugs, but some of them are also just totally fine, normal people that I was projecting onto, and they
Are
did
dead
nothing
from
wrong ever.
drugs.
So it's a combination.
People near you suck. Were we not neighbors?
It's hard before the internet, man.
Aw, another thing, Tom, you have been such an encouragement to me for playing guitar. I think I suck, but you've.
Oh my God.
Okay, first of all, Aubrey, you are.
Yeah, I
like,
showed Heather the video.
I was like, this is amazing. It's just like such an Aubrey. Both of you guys. You
Aubrey-
guys always think you're not as good as you are.
Yeah, Aubrey. So now I know how you feel, because Aubrey sent me a video of her playing the guitar, just like, I haven't played in a long time, and I'm playing
It sounded amazing.
Not only did it sound amazing, but you were like talking and doing stuff. You were like playing and strumming, doing like a combination.
Yeah,
of,
like pointing
picking
at
and
the
finger
window
style.
and,
then you were like going in time and then going over here and be like, yeah, I got this thing over here and like this over here, and like you weren't missing a single note. I was like, I don't think she realizes what she's doing right now, and how good it is and how difficult it is to do. So give yourself credit for sure.
Action Crypto's asking, hey Tom, can we hang out next weekend?
Oh man, buddy. I never called a student buddy in my life. I don't know. I think that would be frowned upon.
Christopher, I'm so
Chris!
happy for this great milestone. Authenticity and kindness is contagious. I share your channel with everyone I know. Oh yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what we were supposed to do today. I totally forgot.
What?
My original
Share my channel with everyone you know.
no, my original topic for today was to talk about Tom's like life motto, which is
Oh,
work hard,
yeah.
be kind, have fun. And I don't even know why you came up with that. I think it
I
was like
do.
with okay.
Well, are we talking about that right now, or is that a different topic?
But you said the word kindness,
Mm.
Chris, and it made me think of work hard, be kind, have fun. And but then I was like, oh, we should talk about your 5-year anniversary,
Yeah.
because that's, and then we
Topical.
yeah. I want a standalone clip of that at the end. That was amazing. YouTube personal empowerment story, so inspiring. Flying is fun, and I use doorstops. It's fine to feel like an outsider with those we were forced to spend time with, but a pleasure to be an insider with other creators on YouTube.
Yeah, it's cool. I think my third my third vlog video is called "You Belong," and it was a thing. I haven't watched it in years, so it might be like terrible and cheesy, but I remember being very proud of it because I was like, it's just text on screen with music. And
it's adorable. See, I mean, so like that, the Tom who like felt like he was a total loser and didn't belong anywhere. When you go into his YouTube channel and watch those first couple of vlogs, realizing that this is someone who's trying to break out of his shell, like I knew that when I met him, because I was like, why is this guy so like it was so bad that you couldn't even eat in front of me. It was weird. Like you were weirdly like very shy.
Oh, there are reasons.
Yeah.
There are reasons.
And then that's why if you watch his first videos, like I am there, every comment, like, oh my God, this is so cool. And yeah.
I was always excited to post them because I knew I'd get a comment from you. It's like, I gotta post this video.
Cute. Robert says it's been fun listening to you guys this evening. Heather,
Aww.
didn't he make it from a quote from an author and then abbreviated it because the original quote was too long?
No, the work hard, be kind, have fun thing was from when Conan O'Brien was leaving the Tonight Show after the 6 months, and he gave his goodbye speech. It's on YouTube. Look it up. It's great. He talks about a thing I've always admired is that even though Conan has like crazy sarcastic humor and like pretends sometimes to be like mean or whatever, he's had a decades-long reputation as being a genuinely nice, kind person. During like the writer's strike, he paid for his whole staff to like keep getting paid just out of his own pocket and stuff, and keep things like he's done all kinds of stuff over the years that speak to being genuine and nice. And despite being in the situation he was in, his message was like, I think he said like, if you work really hard and you're really nice to people, amazing things can happen. I was like, that's really good advice. Like, and so working with students, I liked that advice, but I found personally that it was easy if you just work hard and you have like a strong work ethic, not like hustle culture or whatever, but you're just like, I have a goal, I'm going to accomplish my goal, I'm going to put in the effort, I'm going to put in the time, which is a very important thing to do, and you're nice to people. Who's going to argue with that combination? So it's like I would always encourage my students to do those two things. It's like that's a winning combo. But I learned that it also does potentially set you up to be a doormat, because when someone is really nice and a hard worker, they often get taken advantage of.
Yeah, everyone
by
just
people
tells
who
you
aren't as
what
nice
to do.
or kind or hardworking. And so the have fun part I think is really important, because it's such a good gauge of if you're doing those first two things, like working really hard and being nice to people, and you're still having fun while you're doing it, that probably means like everything's in alignment. If you're not having fun, that means something's off. And that was
That's the perfect way to end this.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I made it up for my senior students when they would graduate, and like their end of the year thing, I would always be like, these are like my 3 pieces of advice to take. If you don't remember anything else from my class, just remember this. And they probably all forgot it.
That's so cute. Well, I'm super proud of you. I just listened to the podcast about Work Hard, Be Kind, Have Fun, just create more talk in Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
Back when you were teaching, I think I'm mixing different parts of the episode. That's funny.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Work Hard, Be Kind, Have Fun, just create more.
That was what the...
Because that's my...
Yeah, those are our 2 slogans. And originally I was going to a teacher conference in Sacramento, and originally we were both going to go and do a presentation, and then I forget what the reason, but you couldn't go. And so it was just me, but the presentation title was both of our slogans.
Because that's cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, congrats on 5 years.
Thank you for being so kind and fun and hardworking and supportive and wonderful.
I hope you... I know I know you don't want to, like, I know you're afraid of live streams and like making it the center of attention and everything. Yes. I know you don't, but I want you to know that like your work is undeniable. Like, it's all there, so like everyone can just look, everyone can literally look that you have not missed a week since you started 5 years ago, which is insane to me. And
That's crazy.
I think not a lot of people can say that, so I think that if August 2017 Tom could meet you now,
yeah,
I think he'd be very excited. I think he'd be your number one fan.
I think he'd be pretty happy and pretty like, what? You're married to that girl, you don't work at the school. What? Like, also, why aren't you still in the best shape of your life? But
stop.
I worked really hard.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Quick question before the episode ends. Did you have Vegemite after the taste test?
Yeah. I haven't had it in a bit, but I totally did. Like, I was like, oh, I just want more of this, and then just ate it while watching King of the Hill and stuff.
All right, thanks everyone for all your nice
thank you very
messages.
very much. It's been awesome.
We'll do like the official 100K live stream.
Yeah,
for members only.
Yeah, if I get the guts, maybe it'd be a public one, but I'm scared.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm a scared boy.
It's nothing against you. You gotta do. It's your YouTube channel, babe.
I feel much better after seeing this, and there's a weird thing. So I'll just put this out there of. I don't want to. I feel weird doing a big public thing that's like, look at me. I know. But
look at me, my 100,000 subscribers, and I'm super cool now because I hit this milestone.
Baller.
But he doesn't want to come off that way.
But I am realizing through like our stream here, like, and I do this too when channels I like are growing or people are doing something. I'm always refreshing. I'm always sending them messages. I'm excited for them.
We share in the feeling of the accomplishment.
There is a fun thing of like a shared. So I don't know. Maybe I need to reevaluate that a little bit, but we'll see. We'll talk. We can talk and
talk offline.
Take it off pod.
Oh, Kevin's here. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I was like, which Kevin? Basic filmmaker Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. Congrats on all. You've been wildly consistent. Kevin made a comeback, and he's just been like.
Oh, that's awesome.
He uploaded a video today, I believe.
Chris says, regarding his character, Tom is the same since the beginning of his YouTube journey.
Just more gray hair.
I love how awkward Tom gets about receiving compliments. It exemplifies what good, kind-hearted, amusing human being you are. No hard feelings about not wanting to hang.
I like compliments. I just get...
No, you get hella awkward.
I know. I don't know what to do.
It's okay. It's okay. That's good. All right. All right. Bye, everybody.
Adios. Oh, it's time to clear the table. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week.
We'll probably see you this weekend again, too.
Yay. We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Where is my outro? Here we go.